Welcome back to this Thursday's live show, a really special one here on Sheffield Live TV, which will be on my YouTube channel following it. We're finishing just before 8 o'clock if you're watching live. And Chris Basham of Sheffield United fame, of Sheffield United legendary fame, cult status even, is our special guest in the studio. It's been great to chat, wonderful chat in part one with Bash, or Bashambauer. What's it to be?
No, Bash. I have to stick with that for the fans. Obviously, Bashambauer and a few of the lads Bauer sometimes and things like that. But it's just the way it is. I think it's just the way I've played throughout my career at Sheffield United so far, and obviously teammates alongside us. It's normally Bauer.
Bauer.
Yeah.
Sure, it's not quite the same.
No,
as Basham,
it's not. But I don't think you'd be shouting that when you're getting a 1v1 against you. Show them left, show them right.
Your kind of renaissance, you must have feared the worst early in the reign of Slaviša Jokanovic, because he came in, fair enough, he came in with his own ideas, which were very, very different to what you were doing before. There's maybe a bit of politics at play, and he wanted certain players in, maybe didn't get them, and then left. Did you fear the worst and thought, well, I'm not going to get in under this manager? Yeah,
I think when you changed the formation, it was always going to be tough for us. I think when you changed the way that we wanted to play, it was going to be tough. But I never shaded my attitude. My attitude stayed the same. I knew the fans knew what I was all about. I knew the lads knew what I was all about, and I didn't want to show an attitude of he's took over. I don't want to really be part of it. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to try my best to get into his thoughts and get into his mindset of playing. And before he did get sacked out, I did start playing under him, and I was the first up there, I think, to say thank you very much. He showed us things that I've never seen before. He showed us a way of being that I've never had before in my playing career, and yeah, he went.
What kind of things? Because it's
just the relaxed man that he was, and just not everything was football, and I think he's had promotions. He's been fantastic. He's had some quality players, too. So he knew how to be. He showed us things in my body, how to relax, chill out, and his staff that he had with him were fantastic as well. He'd been to Seville, I think it was, and been at some amazing football clubs. So you obviously have to listen as well. And the older I got, the more aware I was of my environment and the managers that I've had. And yeah, it was different, but it was still a good learning curve for me and a lot of the lads as well. And no one disrespects him. No one disrespected him when he was under contract. So it was just hard that we didn't get off to a good enough start that we did. But going back to your question, I was fearing obviously leaving Sheffield United, but I also didn't want to shade away from the task in front of us.
When you say he taught you to chill, could he get a bit hyper sometimes?
I think no. I think it's more of just slowing things down in your mind, slowing when you're on the ball, seeing the picture in front of you instead of just head down, go play 1-2 with George and cross the ball. And I think
that's what you're good at.
Yeah, that's what I'm good at, and that's what the fans, and that's what you play to your strengths. But I think under the manager at the time, he wanted us to play good passing football, create the perfect goal. I think we've seen a great. I think it was when Illiman burst onto the scene. I think it was Peterborough at home, and I think we won 6-1 or 6-2 maybe. I think you've seen what a great performance that was that day, and it was wow. This could be really good.
You're on contract for this season and next. I mean, you're only 34, and there's a player in your dressing room who's 36, and he got a new contract. So
we both keep telling us for how we feel and how old we are, but if Billy Sharp keeps scoring goals, you're never not going to score goals, so he can probably keep going. And I'm just going to show the right attitude, the right blend of being around it, and I think the manager knows and respects that and loves us. But it's up to me it's not up to me, it's up to the football club, and it's up to me to keep striving in the right direction for that, and keep creating and keep playing the best I can when I get that opportunity.
Well, you're not alone among the core of the double promotion squad. Quite a few of you are still there, aren't you? John Egan, who hasn't missed a match for about 65 or 60, played every minute or something.
And every international as well.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic to play alongside. I mean, I want to give Yeeks a shout out because he's outstanding to play alongside. I think he's the Irish captain now. When the skipper's not the captain of our club, he's captain of Sheffield United. So he's great to play alongside. for a young man that he is, he's knowledgeable of the games, fantastic, and he's striving on to be. And I think he's linked with more clubs and more clubs as he goes.
And the great thing is that with you flying forward either side of him, he has to be an absolute rock, because I know you both don't go forward at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's usually one sort of back.
Yeah,
but he does put a big demand on him.
He does. He screams and shouts say if Vanel goes forward and I'm forward, he's like someone to get round. And I think that's why he's played so many games, because he only does about 4k a game, where the other lads are doing 16k. But no, he's fantastic, and he's the life and breath of Sheffield at the moment, Sheffield United, and he drives himself on clean sheets and scoring goals and creating goals, and I think he's doing that very well.
Ollie Norwood pulling the strings in midfield. John Fleck sadly injured, as is Billy Sharp at the moment, and also Ender Stevens. But you put everybody collectively there. There's still that core, the old guard, as they
I think that's what the manager's got that's what the manager's got correct at the moment. He's got the blend of young, lads striving for big things, big futures, and you've got the blend of lads who have been around the block, had promotions, had disappointments, had relegations, but also seeing what it's like when the streets are full with red and white, and driving down on an open top bus and having the best times of their lives. Yeah,
and how exciting it could be. I'll ask you how exciting it might be this season in a little while, and I challenge you to tell me that United will be there or thereabouts. We'll see if we can do slightly better than that in a minute. But the excitement, we've talked about the experienced players still doing it, but the excitement of Iliman Ndiaye for starters, summed up for me when he scored that fantastic goal against. Was it Blackburn already? I'm getting confused now, because they were both tremendous home wins, but he scored an absolute worldie running from his own half.
Blackburn.
That was Blackburn.
I was on the pitch at the time,
I spoke to Paul Heckingbottom on the touchline afterwards, and I struggled to get him to eulogise him over it, because he was sort of, he kind of see that every day in training type of answer.
Yeah, I think with Iliman, I think if he's on your team in training, you're relaxed, because you know that he can do everything. But if you're up against him, every day in training he's hard to play against. He uses his body so well, his feet are so fast and he's powerful, and he's going to be the elite. It's just if it's going to be with Sheffield United, he's learning very well. He's finishing when he does it. It's good. He'll be the first to put his hand up. It can be better at times, but he's 20-year-old, maybe younger, and he's scoring some of the outrageous goals that you see every day in training. The boys they all buzz off how good he is. It's great and a privilege to have him in our side, and every game he's going to be. I think I said in the Premier League the hardest person I've ever played against was Mane, and I think he's up there with a lot of. He'll be up there for sure, and he's from the same country as well, and he produces the same types of quality, and he's going to be right up there. And credit to him and his family and himself more than anything for doing what he's done.
Yeah, more to come. Lot more to come. Rida Khadra, clearly the same can be said of him. We saw what he did with Blackburn last year, not least against Sheffield United twice.
Yeah, against us, he's good. He wants to learn. He's still young enough to learn. He's an international for Germany under 21s, I think it is. Scored a fantastic goal, give him confidence. I think everybody's producing at the moment, and everybody wanting to play and wanting to do well for the club, and everyone's wanting to play at the highest level. And if we've got these type of players, I'm sure it won't be far away come the end of the season.
And you sense, I mean, we mentioned James McAtee as well in part one, and he's having to adjust, and the difference being possibly that Khadra had that sort of long spell with Blackburn in the Championship, whereas this is something a bit new for McAtee. He hasn't had that previously.
McAtee's he probably had the options of the whole Championship to go to, but he decided to join a team that was going to be competition, learn from everybody. Luton was a tough game, but he came on the other night against Swansea and was fantastic. So you see glimpses. Luton was a tight pitch. It was never going to be an easy game. I got chucked into that game as well, and I came off with whiplash. I was ahead of the ball that much, so it was one of them ones. But you're just going to see him improving, and obviously Tommy Doyle as well. He was in the 21 captain. He was in the 21 captain at Man City. He's fantastic. He's got a assured head on his he's very assured of himself. He's an England international at under 21 level. He's fantastic, great guy as well, good lad to have around the dressing room, and he went on loan last year to Cardiff City, so he's following the right footsteps with Tommy, and they've come into the dressing room and they've prepared themselves for a fight, and they're doing that ever so well.
Rhian Brewster, do you sense a corner being turned? It might be being turned slowly in terms of his goal output, but credit to him at Swansea, could have decided to go alone there, but he picked the right option.
I think with Rhian, I think we've seen the turn last year when he started scoring goals and got a poor injury at Peterborough away. He picked up a hamstring injury, so that wiped him out for 12 weeks. Probably killed off the end of the season for him. He's come back hungry, he's come back wanting to score goals. And to see the turn of pace here tonight and the confidence in his legs that he's got that pace, and I think I've obviously went on about Jack Lester before, the amount of videos he shows the lads. As a defender, you'd be like, go away, Jack, but as strikers, they're very interested in what you're up against. He knew he had the legs on Norton, and he managed to have the confidence and composure just to lay Khadra through and say, there you go, there's your dinner, go and finish it, and he did that.
He did perfectly. You seem to have the perfect blend on the coaching field there. The manager was a defender, a left back, Stuart McCall a midfield player, and Jack Lester a striker.
Yeah, and he's brought Tom Little in, Dr. Tom Little, shall we call him. Brought him in as well, which has seen a different science around it, a different way of going about things, which is, I think, what the lads need in this day and age, a dietary way. But with Jack, with Stu, and obviously the manager, it's a great blend. And Jack's has the iPad out. It's the way football's going now. You need to look as much detail as you can against the opponents that you're up against, and the manager's in the classroom a lot. He has his back five in there, he has his midfielders in, and it's producing, and long may it continue.
Do you think that possibly it goes on at all football clubs where departments get split and specialists come in, but not everywhere though, I don't think?
No, definitely not. I think it all depends on budgets, and obviously management and coaching staff that want to do that. Do they want to have an iPad and sit down and show people what to do? And
do you go in the attacking sessions or the defensive ones?
With Jack, we do a lot of defensive work, but if he wants somebody to cross the ball in, it'll be me, George, and Anel out on the right, and we just mix it up together. Because
you could be in all three, really.
Could be in all three, yeah. Not really attacking. I haven't scored many recently, but it's great to see the lads when training's on point, which it has been the last few weeks. It's breathtaking at times, and you've got such great talent on show. If you could ever get down there and do a video of one of Jack's cross and finishing sessions, hopefully we don't disappoint that day. But it is quality, it's great, and it's breathtaking at times.
One player we haven't mentioned, and that's Ollie McBurney. Ollie Buses McBurney, as I've started to refer to him, because you knew once he got one, he'd get a few.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got three, mind you, he's got a goal drought on again now. He's got a game
I think every time I played against Ol, I knew I was in for a tough game. He always normally scored if it was at Barnsley or Swansea. So, and Chris Wilder liked him a lot, brought him in, and he scored goals for us in the Premier League. And yeah, he's had that dry period, but it's nothing better than seeing him score. And he's a great lad to have in the dressing room. He's a great for the boys up front, because he does has a hustle and bustle, and he's not scared to throw his body in. He's strong as an ox, and yeah, he might not look at times, but he's a great finisher. He wins a lot of the finishing competitions in training, and him and Bill are right up there, yeah.
Yeah, I think confidence being a great thing as well. I think it was a huge load.
It's great to see him get one, get two, get three. I know he didn't score the other night, but hopefully he gets 4 and 5 comes round on the weekend.
Yeah, he's still one behind Richard Wood of Rotherham.
Right,
he's got 4 as a centre back, yeah.
We obviously done analysis on the Rotherham, thinking it was going to be on before Her Majesty passed, but we're seeing Wood scored a few goals, and I think it would have been Eags picking them up. And I'm like, dear me, mate, he's scored 4 or 5.
It's about to, pressure on you then.
Exactly, so it puts pressure on the whole Yorkshire teams. It is what it is, but Rotherham have done fantastically well. Manager Warren's done fantastic. We played a little pre-season friendly against them. We knew we were going to be in for a tough game if it was on at the weekend, and they're playing to their strengths. They're playing fantastic. I think they got beat off Sunderland 3-0, and that's the only downfall they've had.
Your team?
Yeah, my team. All they needed was do what Sheffield United did, was get promoted, steady themselves in the league, and they're doing that ever so well. I say my team, but everyone I think knows now who my team is. It's
got
red
to
and white of Sheffield, that's for sure.
I mean, we'll come to this in a minute. You're a bit of a throwback. Not many players stay, as long at a club as you do. But come on, before this season started, I like to be honest. I write a column, and I thought pushing for, a bit vague, a bit like you, there or thereabouts. I was very boring. I thought pushing for the playoffs, yeah, about right. So I'm pleasantly surprised, but I didn't know the quality of some of these players. For Anel, for instance, didn't know quite how good he was. So expectations have lifted from that, haven't they, considerably?
Yeah, I think I was in exactly the same boat. I knew we needed to get strength and depth. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. I'm not one for tempting fate, but the manager's record speaks for itself. Me under the manager's, like I said before, I think I've lost one game and he wasn't even there. That was at Derby, and the Forest was a playoff game in the league, so his record speaking for himself. The lads are doing ever so well. You can't tempt fate, but if they keep the form up, if we keep the form as it is and scoring goals and doing what we're doing, the championship's got to be, I wouldn't say the top two, but you've got to be there or thereabouts, surely.
You said there or thereabouts, yeah. But you're saying for the top two now, rather than the top six.
I think the lads, we've got to back ourselves. We've got to be promising, and we all know there's a target on our back already, so there's nothing better than having that target on your back, because you've got to keep producing and you've got to keep performing at the highest quality you possibly can. There's going to be winter breaks, there's going to be international breaks. How can we react from that? It's all new to us.
And a blooming transfer window as well. I nearly swore there, but
yeah. And injuries coming back as well, to only strengthen the team to make it even better. So we're standing ourselves in good stead.
But you've got to target the top two rather than the top six. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think consistency is key in this league, and if you keep that consistency up of keeping clean sheets and scoring goals, it's only inevitable what can happen at the end of the season. Come, is it May?
Yeah,
May the 9th,
I think so.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be dancing around in May. We'll soon find out.
Right, it's going to be very, very exciting. The manager, what's he really like? I mean, he's a very approachable guy, but I think there's a lot more steel behind there than is apparent on the surface. You see it on the touchline in games. He's an amenable fella to talk to, very, very honest, straightforward, common sense. And I think you alluded to it earlier. There is a temper there if need be.
Definitely a temper, but he's been around the block as well. He's been Barnsley, Leeds, he's been up to Scotland. He's been an under-23s coach, so he knows the ins and outs of Sheffield United development side of it. He's not scared to throw young lads in, and yeah, he's got a temper, but we all get angry when things don't go well. The analysis of the game's fantastic. You know exactly, there's no stone unturned when you go into a game. You know exactly what you're up against and how to defeat it. And with the mix of Stu, who's been around the block more than once, is fantastic, and Jack as well. And yeah, he's very good. He's surprised us in every possible way, and he likes to have the older lads around him as well, and to help him out. And long may it continue for him.
At the moment, he doesn't seem to. He's very honest when talking to the media. Is Paul Heckingbottom, and you're almost giving him nothing to talk about, because I know he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get anybody to get carried away, so he doesn't want to overhype how well you're playing. But you're not giving him that little window of complaint that he's looking for, I think. I think
honestly, the best way he can be at the moment. I think he pushed for the pitches, the training facilities to be upgraded. That's happening. I think that's the only thing that's been really niggling at him so far. He's doing his best he can for his staff, for the team to go that next level. He's pushed that. That did probably annoy him the most. But then he set up a great pre-season. He wanted games of football. He wanted good facilities, and we got that. And
he's obviously clearly established a good relationship with the board, and they've been very, very supportive.
Supportive of it. Yeah. Very supportive. They knew what they were getting when he took over the Premier League as a manager in the Premier League for us, and he stepped back down, he stepped back up again, and he knew the time was right this time. He got it back in 4 or 5 years. So it's all there for him to look for the future as well.
It did raise eyebrows. He got a 4.5-year contract, but you can kind of see why now.
And with his recruitment that he's done, with the players that he's got, with the the development. That he knows the ins and outs of the 23s. Why not?
8 years at one football club. There aren't many of you, are there?
No. 8 years, and to sign a 2-year contract to get to 10 years was amazing. Great feeling, pinch yourself moment at the time, because I was pushing and striving for that, and have the manager, I've just gone on about him there, and have him to back us to give me that. And I have to keep producing, I have to keep playing well. I've got massive competition, we've talked about them all night.
Yeah.
So keep doing my best I can, but also being part of the squad and being part of the team, and to bring the development through and bring the youth, and have ups and downs. I mean, the bench the other night was about 20-year-old, the maximum age, to have them feel that feeling of ecstasy that the people talk about, of going that high and getting that result. And people in the dressing room, the manager came in and went, get the tunes on, because he didn't have to say anything. The boys were buzzing. The boys were buzzing. Nothing was said. It was just on his preparation now was for Saturday's game against Preston.
Yeah, get the tunes on.
Yeah, just
what
get the tunes.
What tunes were they?
George is in charge of all that. It's just ranting and raving, and it's a bit of everything, bit of house, bit of dance, clubland and things like that. I don't mind it, actually. When you win it, I don't mind anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nothing can make us upset when I win. I'm a sore loser at times, and
but there's,
never like losing.
So you should be, really, and that's part of the secret. You've got any number of captains in that dressing room.
I think that's just what the football club's all about. I think that's why I've been here for 8 years. We all lose. I hate losing. I've been here when it's been horrendous, and when you're getting beat more times than you should be. When the fans are wanting to get on the pitch to slate the players or waiting at the bus at the end, it's not nice. So I never want to go back there again. And they never did that to me. But you knew hard work, and you knew what you wanted to give this football club. And yeah, winning's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. Have you dared look beyond the end of your playing career, or is it just simply carry on as long as possible?
No, I'm definitely want to carry on as long as possible. I've had that sit down with the wife, and we've had a chat together, and I know I want to keep playing, because I know that I've still got a lot to give. Everyone knows I'm a fit lad. At 34, I don't feel it. Yeah, I do maybe a couple of days after a game, I'm sort of day, but to give you that extra day, the managers are happy to do that now, as long as you perform and come in a weekend or a midweek game.
And coaching or media or
maybe media are more than anything. I think coaching's not just you're in at 9 o'clock, you're done by 12. I think media, you can not pick and choose, but I enjoy media side of things. I enjoy having sit-down conversations.
You've shown that.
Watching, obviously, people performing on the field, and I mean, hopefully I'll always be welcome back to Sheffield United just to watch a game and do a few things on that. But yeah, media, coaching's very tough now.
You don't get sacked as much in the media as you do
don't
in
get
coaching
that.
and management.
But then it's highs and lows, isn't it, of management. I've had it all my life so far, so yeah, it's just a long day. We're gone by 1 o'clock. The managers are still there at 6, 7 o'clock
It's a long day in the media, you know. It can be a long day in the media.
Yeah, it's not just turning up to a game and doing that and going home. You can have a chat with us after this to tell us about it.
And unlike players, we can go for a pint after work as well.
That's nice. That's always
you
good.
can't do that,
no,
can you?
It's really hard to switch off as a footballer, I think. When you win a game of football, you're up there. When you lose, you're down there and you're watching your analysis. How did we lose? How did we get beat?
A midweek game is wiping you out for 2 days. I'm sure it is.
Very tough.
Well, I'll tell you what. You've passed your media audition. You've been a fantastic guest, Chris. Thank you so much. It's been an absolutely fantastic hour.
Yeah.
I look forward to watching it again, actually. And I hope that you've enjoyed it at home. If you've missed it, it'll be on my YouTube channel later on. Thanks again to Chris Basham. Be Dick Chester here next week. Thanks for your company. See you then. Bye-bye.
Yeah.